Giggles. It was like a normal day. I log on to Animal Jam. Everything was all normal. And I called my friends. I asked them, hey, let's go and have a sleepover in my den. They all agreed. And it came to my den. They were all so thrilled, same as me. We all played truth and dare. We all liked our dares, and sometimes I love scaring my friends. We pull pranks on each other until when it's time for them to leave at tomorrow, when it's their turn to leave. When they left, I got on my iPod and listened to some music until the power shut down, which means my laptop really actually did shut down, which leads to big trouble. When my laptop shut down, I felt like this maybe is the end of the world, basically, because electronics is my life. And if you're saying that it's possibly not the end of the world, you're wrong. When the power got back on, I went to my laptop. It looks kind of fuzzy. I logged on, and then something strange happened. It turned back to HD. I just went to Mutt Shiver and gone to the hot cocoa to get a hot cocoa in the hot cocoa hut. And guess what I saw? Nobody. But I'm on the most popular server on Animal Jam. I just don't know what's happening here. Well, I just got a original homemade, well, computer made, Animal Jam made cocoa. And I went and pretend to drink it, which means I totally just typed drinks cocoa. And I sit by the fire. I pretend to feel warm, even though there's no one there. I heard a giggle. A strange giggle, actually. It sounded more like... it sounded more like she was suffering, as if a knife staggered in her heart. Then I heard a really big scream now. It's like she's screaming on top of her lungs. That was actually the biggest and loudest scream I ever heard. I got really scared. Why do I hear giggling and screaming in this game? I went to my den. I hope that it will just all work out. I was checking on my buddies list, and I saw my friends are still on. I asked them if they'd come back to my den. They didn't reply. And then when I tried to follow them, guess what? When I hover over the blue button and try to follow them, there's a sign which popped up and said, you can't follow them. It was an error, but this never happened. Why can't I ever, well, let's just say, go to them? I close their profiles and sit and think. While I was sitting, I noticed something really strange. My friend came to me, and then they just called me on Skype. I answered a call, and he said, you better get off Animal Jam. Really, please. You know those two girls there? We are not them. We are not them. Keep clear. Log out now. So then I asked why, before she answered. Well, the call ended, and before the call ended, I heard a big scream, just as like in the cocoa hut I heard. I got really scared. I was home alone, just to tell you. My babysitter was there, so I logged out, and then I closed my window, and then I quickly ran to my babysitter, and I waked her up from the couch. Melody, Melody, wake up, please, please. After she groaned and woke up, what's up, Brat? I always hated her. She was my worst enemy ever. Melody, Melody, well, when I log on to Animal Jam, what is this Animal Jam crap? She replied to me. I don't think I can ever actually even imagine if she can even be a babysitter. I went to my room and I just tried to call my friends again, but they didn't answer. So then I went to call my other friends. They answered. After that, we were just talking until the power shut down again, which also includes the light in my bedroom. It was so dark that I couldn't even get out of there and go to Melody. When the power got on again, I got out and quickly ran to Melody. Guess what I saw? She was lying on the couch. And guess what else? She was stabbed. A note left on top of the dagger. It said, come out, if you want to see your family again. And I have your parents, just to tell you. By the way, don't get scared. I promise, I won't scare you. I got really scared. And then I heard munching. It came from the kitchen. I took a peek. I saw my friend and my other friend. And I was trying to get a closer look what they're eating and how they even, I actually think, how they even get in my house. And they were munching food. Well, when I took a closer peek, they were actually munching on kidneys? Why would they munch on kidneys? And where did that kidney came from? And then when I quickly looked to Melody, I remembered then I saw Melody's kidney got staggered out. Actually, took him out. Their two kidneys were actually staggered out, which actually I meant stabbed out. I looked back to take a closer look to my friends munching on that kidney. When I looked back, they were gone. The kidneys were gone. I went and called to my parents. And, well, they didn't really answer. All I heard was, please leave a message. And I left a message, of course. I left a message saying that, please come home. Please. Well, I ended the call, and I went to go to bed. The next morning, I woke up. I was hoping my parents would be there. My parents didn't came home. I got really scared. So then I called my friends. They didn't answer. I went back on AJ and hoping that I could connect to them. When I logged back on, I saw my friends. They're online. Actually, all my friends. I contacted all my friends and sent them all the email and asked them to come. None of them said yes, because they're all busy, except two who played with me yesterday. They came, and then I said hi. They didn't say anything. And after that, I went and pretended to cook for them. And then I said BRB, because I'll have to go to the toilet. When I came back, they left. Why would they leave? Their best friend. So then I followed them, and they were at their den. So I felt that they were being rude. So then when I came to their dens, then Each time I said, actually, I changed my mind. I had gone back to my den and I messaged them and I asked them, why would you leave your friend when I was on BRB? Don't you think that would be rude? And he messaged me back, why do you even care? I felt hurt, and I messaged them back, or replied back actually, and I said, 'cause I have feelings, I'm a human, I have a heart. They replied back, well, maybe your heart's gonna be taken out of your place. I got scared and held my heart really tight. I'm hugging myself really tight now. I locked out. I heard a knock on my door suddenly, and I sprinted up and opened the door. I was hoping that was actually my parents, but it's actually my friends. I closed the door quickly, but then they caught it, and they forced all their strength to come in. They came in all right. I got really scared. I went and get a knife, but then they already have a knife too. So there was no use, but I was still holding a knife. I was trying to shoot it at them and aim it at them and try to stab them, but then they held my two arms and they both threw a knife near my neck, really close that it could actually slice my neck. They said, oh dear, dear, dear. Why? I heard the giggled, just like I heard in the cocoa hut again. And I closed my eyes and I hoping that this would end. I woke up. I was now in a strange room. A strange, strange room. And I realized that I was in one of my friend's house, in their living room. I woke up and stared at the fireplace. I thought that I was taken home. Well, my friend's house, just to calm down. I decided to get up, I meant. And I went upstairs. I got into my friend's bedroom. My friends were there. They were flipping through pictures. There's a fireplace in their bedroom. And then, when I saw the exact moment, I saw them throwing the pictures in the fireplace. They're burning the pictures of me and them. They laughed. And then, when I took a closer look at their eyes, they were pure red. And then they turned really pale. Really pale. And their lips were pure red, as same as their eyes. And then, when I opened the chest, I saw kidneys. I got really scared, and I dared myself to go inside and yell at them, what's going on? And I asked them to stop and take my parents back. All they said was, you see these kidneys? We're eating your parents' kidneys. And guess what? It's delicious. And I yelled at them, cannonballs! They didn't care. They just started eating my parents' kidneys. I got really scared and ran out of their house. But then they stopped me before I can even get out. They dragged me. I tried to kick them and try to get out their arms dragging me. But it didn't help. They set me on the kitchen and one of my friend called Emma was holding me. And then my other friend, Lily, was getting the knife. She cut open my kidney. I screamed. My scream was just as same as I heard in Cocoa Hut. I screamed and screamed and screamed. Before I blacked out, I saw them laughing at me. They're giggling now, as same as the Cocoa Hut. They're then stabbing me. It hurt so much now that I couldn't even talk. I blacked out. I woke up in my bed. I got out. It was morning. Birds were chirping. I got out. I got downstairs. My parents were there. Melody was alive. And my parents was, what dream did you have? And I said, a terrible, terrible dream. And they said, I invited your friends. They'll come and play with you. I said, oh no, not Emma and Lily. And then when they came, they smiled at me like nothing ever happened. And I told them my dream. And then all they did was smirk. I didn't understand. I asked them, why were they even smirking? And they said, oh, nothing. And they're giggling, just like in the Cocoa Hut. And I thought to myself, this won't ever end, would it? I logged on back to AJ, and I dared myself to go back to the Cocoa Hut again. It was all normal. Nothing happened. I got back to my den. Now I heard the giggle again, and now the scream. Now everywhere I go to AJ, giggles and screaming came everywhere. Now when I logged out, I looked at my family, including my helper, and I also looked at my friends. I heard just giggling and screaming. This was enough. I took a knife from the kitchen and I stabbed myself. I committed suicide. I didn't know why. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I heard something that it might be just my brain actually. I might imagine things. But this, I'm sure, I am not mental. I am not mental. I am